There comes a moment in life when the soul stands at a silent crossroads, one that doesn't appear on any map but unfolds inside every person who has grown tired of carrying their own battles alone, and finally senses that something greater is calling them. A moment when the heart, even exhausted, finds the strength to admit that the struggle is not against the world, not against circumstances, but against itself, against its own attachments, its fear of change, its resistance to letting go, its inability to release what has already completed its cycle. And maybe you are standing at this threshold right now, feeling that something needs to be understood, released, transformed, not because you are weak, but because the time has come to recognize that there is a far lighter way to walk. That is why this video has reached you, because today, together, we will explore the depths of a spiritual journey that begins exactly where pain and hope meet. That sacred point where you realize you can no longer move forward the way you have been. And at the same time, you feel that something new is waiting for you just ahead. My name is Peter, and you are watching Spiritual Tips, a space created for those who seek clarity, spiritual strength, and inner purpose in a world that constantly tries to fragment us. Here, we dive deep into themes that don't merely touch the surface, but penetrate the soul, awaken awareness, and invite you into a journey of authentic transformation. Before we continue, let me tell you something essential. What you are about to hear is more than beautiful words. It is an invitation to see your own life through a different lens, to understand your pain with a different heart, and to walk within yourself with a new posture. If something inside you has been asking for answers, stay with me until the end, because what we explore today might be exactly what your soul has been trying to reveal to you for a very long time. There is a type of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix, a fatigue that does not come from the body, but from the emotional responsibilities we accumulate throughout life. It emerges when we try to be strong all the time, when we pretend nothing affects us, when we swallow our pain so we don't worry others, when we smile outwardly while something inside is quietly asking for help. This silent exhaustion is the first sign that we are carrying weight that is not ours, holding on to battles that should have been handed over long ago, clinging to stories that have already fulfilled their purpose, people who have already walked their part of the path, expectations that were never truly ours. We learn to normalize this weight as if it were a natural part of life, when in truth it is the clearest symptom that we have been trying to control what is no longer under our control. This emotional fatigue installs itself slowly, day after day, in the deep sigh you release without noticing, in the thought that keeps returning in the middle of the night, in the strange sensation that everything is fine outside but misaligned inside. This is how the soul speaks, not by shouting but by whispering, not demanding but signaling, not pressuring but imploring, asking above all for space to breathe. Inside each of us lives a subtle yet powerful force called resistance. It is born from fear, fear of losing something, fear of the unknown, fear of stepping into a future without guarantees. Even when we know a cycle has ended, even when we feel it is time to walk away, resistance pushes us back to what is familiar. We resist ending relationships that have already drained us. We resist releasing habits that harm us. We resist confronting our own shadows. We resist accepting that some doors closed because God knows we should no longer walk through them. Resistance hides itself in small internal negotiations, in the not now, in the maybe later, in the excuses we whisper to ourselves to avoid the truth. We don't resist because we love what we're holding. We resist because we fear what comes after we let go. We fear the empty space. We fear the silence. We fear the sense of emotional nakedness that comes when something ends. But emptiness, silence, and pause are not punishments. They are sacred spaces where the new begins. There are moments when we ask God for answers, signs, clarity. and all we receive is silence. A silence so deep it unsettles us. But silence is not abandonment, it is strategy. God's silence is the spiritual room where the soul matures. He quiets everything around us so we can finally hear what has been buried beneath the noise of our own anxiety. We often think God is not responding, but the truth is that we are too agitated to perceive His direction. The silence of God invites us to see with new eyes, to listen differently, to recognize that many answers we seek are already within us, but hidden behind the noise of our internal fears. The silence is not punishment, it is preparation. It is in silence that spiritual discernment is born, the ability to understand what comes from God, what comes from us, and what comes from fear. At some point, life will push you into unknown territory, not as punishment, but as initiation. The unknown is the place where you lose old certainties, where familiar reference points disappear, where you're forced to trust in something beyond logic. And it is precisely there, in the unpredictability, that faith becomes real. Faith is not believing when everything is clear. Faith is walking when nothing is certain. The unknown is the spiritual classroom where God trains those He loves. When you take the first step, trembling, unsure, afraid, something extraordinary happens. You realize you were never walking alone. Pain has its own spiritual language. It teaches what joy cannot teach. It reveals what comfort hides. It awakens what routine anesthetizes. Pain only becomes suffering when we resist it. When we embrace it, pain becomes transformation. It shows that we held on too long. It reveals needs we have ignored. It exposes old wounds that were never healed. Pain is the fire that tests the soul, not to destroy it, but to purify it. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is wisdom. It is recognizing that you have reached your human limit, and instead of forcing your way forward, you choose to trust. Trust not because everything makes sense, but because resisting has become too painful. Surrender happens gradually, like a sunset. First comes exhaustion, then understanding, then acceptance, then release. And when you finally surrender, the impossible begins to move. God does not force His way into your life. He waits for permission. And when you give Him space, He rearranges everything. Suddenly, the path becomes lighter. Unexpected solutions emerge. Opportunities appear that you could never have created alone. People come, people go, doors close, doors open, all in perfect timing. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. God works in silence, in secrets, in the unseen layers of your life. And when the results finally appear, everything makes sense. After crossing the unknown, facing your silence, welcoming your pain, and releasing your control, something inside you is reborn. You react differently, you perceive differently, you choose differently. Your intuition sharpens, your peace deepens, your clarity expands. This rebirth is subtle, but unstoppable. It is the moment your soul realigns with what it was always meant to be. After rebirth, you no longer chase life. You walk with it. You walk with God, not a distant God, but a God intimately present, guiding you through intuitions, aligning opportunities, speaking through inner peace. Walking with God means understanding that you don't need to carry everything anymore. He carries with you. He carries for you. Life stops being a battlefield and becomes a path. If you reach this point, something inside you is ready. Ready to release. Ready to trust. Ready to transform. This message did not arrive by accident. It arrived because you were prepared for it. You know what you need to do now. Breathe deeply. Let go softly. trust fully, and walk forward. If this message touched you, like this video and share it with someone who needs peace today. You are always welcome here at Spiritual Tips. You never walk alone.